Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Wow, it is me, Audrey Lane, and I thank you. So I'm going to start off with the date. So today is Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, and I am feeling awesome. And I don't want you to think because I pause with saying it that is I mean, I am learning emotions and learning true emotions. And I've never felt like this before. So let me tell you why. Um, I didn't come on yesterday because um 22 years ago yesterday I had lost a child. And I never really dealt with the emotions from that, which caused a lot of my problems. But I am learning how to deal with emotions now, and crying is one of them for me. Like, learning that it's okay to cry, and learning that I can still feel awesome in the cry because it's a growing thing for me. Who would have thought from it that this is where we can't stay like stuck in the pain. There's healing in the hurt. There's healing in the hurt, and it's a purpose for the pain. And one, I think that partial of me not really being a really more active parent was because I still held on to that hurt of losing a child. Man, dealing with it and bringing all of that up, it feels really good to do that. That I don't have to hide it anymore. It's so funny that you hide stuff from your own self, but it seeks out anyway. But I'm so grateful in a lot of ways because me having to just deal with it. It's funny. Let me word it like this. It's funny when God exposes yourself to yourself. Expose you to yourself, basically. You know, and who do you lay out? Sometimes when somebody call you out on something, you be ready to like kind of do Peter and lay into him. But I had to do a little bit of Peter on myself and be real and handle and deal with that loss, to deal with the issues of it. It was hurtful for me because one of the things is I never talked about it. I never even knew that I didn't even talk to my children about it. I have a like a keepsake box they gave me with his picture in it and like everything that kind of like touched him that day. And I never even realized that I never shown my kids. Like they heard me talk about him, but just they only knew his name, which was Angel, which is Angel. I didn't even have a name for him. But I figured that, you know, Angel was so fitting for his name because basically he didn't live a life. He was meant to be with God. So I named him Angel. But I never really realized that I didn't talk to my children here now on this earth about him. They never really knew about him, let alone seeing a picture of him. And yesterday was the first day that they seen a picture of him. That I had to sit here and say, wow, you know, and then having to help them with their emotions, because at the end of the day, the one thing all of my children share in common with one another is they all was in this womb, all was in the core. They all was in the womb together. And you never know how it affects them all. And just sitting and talk with them yesterday, you know, was a great thing. I can't even believe I'm actually talking now with you guys about this. But I found out it's in the talking. I can't keep saying being vulnerable and exposed. And I do believe some testimonies are meant to share with everybody and then some aren't. But the reason why I'm sharing this one with you is because it's in the dealing. It's in the dealing with the raw, true emotions. I can't hide it. And I found out that somebody else, you know, went through this and didn't even know how to go about doing it. It takes what I said on my Instagram, and I probably share this too next week in the story, I don't know, about confidence. It was a big confident moment for me. I've been in therapy for some months now and never even brought him up to my therapist. I just said November is a really crazy month for me. It's a harvesting month for me, you know, for right now. And I was so busy talking and running my mouth to him about like, wow, God is changing me. He's showing me how to deal with things and showing me how to deal with emotions. And I'm learning how to even deal with the loss of my son and everything. And he had to stop me and back me up. Because I didn't even realize. But I did realize that I never told him because it was an issue that I wouldn't talk with. But I thank God for therapy because I've been cracking layers open that I realized I shut down, but didn't know how deep I shut them down, basically, put it like that. And this is all I can say, a good, awesome moment. And people will be like, well, how do you feel so good about it? Because I am actually letting things up and out and dealing with the reality of situations. And that's what we have to do. Deal with the reality of it. And the change in everything of it will shift you in a way that I can't even really explain to you guys. This song came to me on the way home. Of just like, Lord, you've been so good to me. You've been better than good to me. And out of all of the songs that I kind of, you know, play on my playlist, I don't even know how this one came up. But I just was saying, God, how you've been like, how he's been good. And I thank him so much. I'm so grateful every day. And then this song come up and it brought me to like a breakdown tears because as much as I tell him I appreciate him and I love him for never giving up on me, for the love that he's been giving me, the embrace, the revealing me to me, that tell me even though with all that's happened in the breaking and everything that's been happening in my life, that I am strong and that I am built for this. I am built for this. And it's amazing to know that no matter what I have gone through and what I am going through and what I may go through even later on, because things do happen, that I was built for it, that I can conquer it all, no matter what, and that I have strength, and that I have him. And as long as I have him, I'm going to be okay. And I say it to you too. As long as you have him, she gonna be better than okay. And just how good he's been, I am so grateful. I wouldn't. There is some things in life that we were like, oh, I wish I never did and never got into. There probably is, but for right now, because I'm breaking myself open more and more, there's things coming up in my life that I didn't even know that I hid so deep. But this one was something major for me because I'm not saying that, boom, it's over with, I dealt with it. No, but I'm dealing with it. The emotions from it, the trueness from it, because not only did I, it's one thing to lose your child, but oh God, I can do this. To be where you have to give birth to something that, and I'm not saying it like that, but to give birth to a child who will never call you mom. That it was a debate then in the room between the doctors whether or not he took a breath or he didn't. And it was a debate where one nurse was saying no, the baby took one breath, then it wasn't. So basically he was a stillborn, and that was hard for me because I didn't know. But one thing I've learned that a lot of women may not know happens is after you have a stillborn, you know when you have a baby, carried full term, healthy baby, everything, they can press down on your stomach to kind of push the afterbirth out. When you have a stillborn, they can't. So, and this is the crazy thing about it, I still had labor pains and everything. This is where I get the silence is loud from, because all you hear is machines and movement. You don't hear a baby crying, but yet you get labor pains. You have to push. They're counting down. They're like, okay, now push. You're feeling it all, but yet you don't hear that cry. And then on top of that, the afterbirth doesn't like necessarily always come out. So they kept me in the hospital for a couple of days, but yet the afterbirth did not come out. And they messed up on this one. This what kind of played with my head. After I had him, a lot went on, so I'm not going to get it all out tonight. I will be lying and tell you this. But one that stuck out to me is they put me up on a maternity ward, a single room, but up on a maternity ward. So even though I've never been to jail or prison or anything like that, what they call that, solitary confinement. So I'm in a room by myself, brick walls, but yet I can hear everything around me. So I didn't just give birth to a baby that I never heard cry, but yet I'm on the floor hearing crying babies. That's something. And that wasn't really even what got me. It was the conversations that I would hear people coming up and down the hallway having, like, oh, did you see the baby? The baby looked just like her, looked just like him. Did you see his hands? Oh my goodness. Did you see her face? That baby got a lot of hair. And that was something. It drove me bananas. Oh, I can't even believe I'm saying this. But I have to. because I hope that this actually does help someone out there, that you can be vulnerable and speak your truth. And this is where I say hit me up, because I wouldn't mind talking with you on how I am dealing with it. And leaving the hospital, because I stayed for a couple of days and yet the afterbirth still did not come. So they had to send me home to give birth to my afterbirth. Yeah. You talking about the most craziest thing? So how are you still contracting? Because you contract to still give birth to something, to afterbirth. Craziest thing, right? I know now with all of that, there's strength in it. The craziest thing ever is strength in me actually sitting here speaking it out and talking it out in my journal process with you guys. And I hope that someone actually comes to terms with, if this happened to you or a loved one, don't be in. It's so weird, because even though my family all knew about what was happening, you never feel so alone. You feel so alone in the process. But I look back now, after really dealing with the emotions of it, I wonder how everyone else around me felt. How did they feel about it? And I thank God that he tells me, because I was handling it from a selfish point of view of, you never didn't go through this, you didn't have to go through this, and blah blah blah. So I kind of shut down, because I didn't want to hear their feelings and emotions off of it, because I was so selfish that it was me. It happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me. But yet, they would have been, for my ex-husband's side, he would have been a father. His mother and my mother would have been grandparents. My sisters would have been aunts. His brothers would have been uncles. But I was so selfish with it, because I didn't know how to really deal with it. I don't think anybody really knows how to deal with it. But I thank God for him just basically telling me to speak up on it, to help. Even if it doesn't help anyone, it's helping me now, telling this, sharing this. It's a relief. And I know you probably like, how do you feel awesome even through all of that? Because I done spoken into being at peace with it, and learning every day how to be at peace with it more and more. Not to feel embarrassed or shamed or less than a woman, not a good mother. And I'll say it to you like this: what are you really carrying? That afterbirth, I thank goodness that I went home and I had to get it out. And I want to say, 22 years later, this telling you guys out, I just spit the last bit of that afterbirth out. I hold no more in me, no more fear, no more doubts, no more badness of what, I'm not. I have birthed a miracle. I birthed new life with that loss. I birthed an understanding. I really did birth a miracle. I really did birth an angel. I got to go through all of that to sit here to tell whoever's listening that don't look at it as you lacked or you are less than, that you're not a woman, that you went through this on your own, that you know, I that bitter crazy something, even if it was miscarriages and any of that, don't. There's miracles in it all. God planned for it all. So find the great in it, the good in it. You are here. You are open and willing to deal with your issues. Because I can honestly say, this moment, me sitting here, I feel like I have someone on my shoulders around me like this, consoling me. That I'm not by myself. That I feel victory in all of this. Me speaking the truth out. So yesterday, you would think, okay, I go to a market. I went to a dollar store and they had a Paw Patrol balloon because the helium tank was down. Because I wanted to get green star balloons because all of his stuff was green. And they didn't have it. It was not working. So I got the Paw Patrol balloon. And the guy was like, you should go next door to the market. Maybe they got balloons in there. And I walk in, and believe it or not, they got Thanksgiving balloons up. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm thankful. I'll use it because all I want to do is release a balloon up. I end up releasing two because I got the Paw Patrol and I got a balloon that they had there. One little balloon, a star balloon, because I wanted the star. And on a balloon, it said hope. If you have hope, hope is belief. Hope is trust. Hope is ongoing. Hope is love. Hope is grace. Hope is God. Hope is just everything. And I released the balloons yesterday. My children, my oldest son doesn't live in the house and my oldest daughter doesn't. But we, thank goodness for technology because everybody was apart on the phone. And I had my ex-husband, well, my husband because we're still legally married, but I had him on the phone and we let go. I can't speak for them, but I know for myself, I am willing to go through the emotions now. You would have caught me crying about him. Man, does it hurt? Yeah. Am I healing? Yes. And you heard me say it right. Does it hurt? Yeah. Am I healing? Yes. Because that's that ongoing healing. The yeah is just, yeah, it hurt. That once, yeah, it hurt. But the yes of healing is a continual thing for me. So if I brought any emotions out for you guys, I apologize. However, I'm not going to say but because you guys know how I feel about but. However, I hope that you are truly wanting to deal with loss. Because loss I'm finding for myself is for a cause. A loss is for a cause. Maybe this was the cause for me to sit here now and be honest and open to help someone deal with their loss. And when I say loss, cause, the loss cause is not, so it is, okay, let me get it. The loss cost, not price, cause, CAUSE. It's a cause for it. You're going to grow in this cause. You're going to push forward. And I let me speak for myself, and hopefully, because I don't always want to keep it on me. But I know for me right now in this moment, Jesus, I am so happy. I am so grateful. An uncomfortable growth. And growing is uncomfortable. I thank you guys for letting me be true and vulnerable. And I pray that if you have done what you were not done, if you have an experience that you felt like you couldn't deal with, that you will find peace in it. That you will let God open you up and reveal to you that there's strength in this loss. There's a cost in this loss. Because at one point, I thought that, why am I always losing something? I lost a child. I lost my mother. I lost my grandmother. I lost my marriage. And I'm finding out that every loss has a cost, because there are reasons of reason, season, lifetime. And I want to say each and every one that I just named, children, mother, grandmother, spouse, all of that loss was for a greater cause, for God to use me for this moment right here, right now. In every video and all of the journals that I have ever posted, I'm finding out who Audrey Lane is. And there's strength in me. There's obedience in me. Submission in me. There's more in me. God has been revealing so much to me. I don't know what he's doing. I can't even believe he's opening up, that he's still using me. And I'm thankful that he has never gave up on me. So I will be back on tomorrow. Thank you for you being your vulnerable self, and you coming on to just, be a part of the journaling process for me. And I pray God gives you peace for any vulnerable thing or something I may have hit. It wasn't to tear your world up and bring you out and open and just leave you vulnerable in the dust. No, you can heal from this. There's healing in this for you. There's a purpose for it. So I pray that you be vulnerable and open up and let God use you. So I thank you guys. I will be back on with you guys tomorrow. And I don't have anything else to say. So bye now. Good night.